I'm Slicky Ricky Ticky Bobby Wobbin from Cultaholic.com, and these are all of the WTF moments from last night's Fight for the Fallen / AEW Dynamite / any other titles they want to give their weekly show these days. There's no end to them. And this was the week where men went inside of the professional wrestling ring and fought each other like men. Something I have no idea about whatsoever. FTR and the Lucha Bros laying it in. Kenny Omega loses the plot, laying it in. Not a man, but Vickie Guerrero's brand new theme, laying it in because it slaps. What a tune with a capital CH. But it would appear that the tectonic plates that make up the AEW roster, and how some of them are heels and some of them are baby faces, they appear to be shifting. Oh ho ho, tantalizing times. Hit the intro, will you? WTF! And of course I get it, heels being heels. Oh, you're hard sitting there without your mask on, you pair of dicks. But never mind all that bollocks, as we all know, coronavirus is not a professional wrestling storyline. Never mind those two dicks there. This goes out to everybody watching this video. Wear a bloody mask, man. It's not hard. And was I the only one thinking while watching Sonny Kiss's entrance last night, shouldn't Sonny Kiss be taking the Machine nickname off of Brian Cage? I was thinking, why is Sonny Kiss doing all of that cheerleading malarkey seconds before he's about to have the biggest match of his AEW career so far? I don't know about you at home, but if I was to do all of that cheerleading malarkey before having that match against Cody, I wouldn't make the first bell before having a pissing cardiac arrest. So there we have it. Sonny Kiss is now the Machine. What an engine. And this being Sonny Kiss's biggest AEW match to date leads us through to another WTF moment. A sobering realization that that match there against Cody last night was Sonny Kiss's first proper AEW singles match on Dynamite. Yes, some of you might be saying, well, Sonny was in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal there, Ross Twaddell, you massive twat. Why aren't you recognising that? But I'm saying it right now, Sonny was just in that match quite simply to make up the numbers. This was the first proper bells and whistles Sonny Kiss singles match on Dynamite that he's had, and why is it taking so long? Heel. The Kevin Nash pyro, the push-ups while Sonny Kiss was down. Cody Rhodes is now a bona fide heel. Somehow, someway, the Princess Diana of professional wrestling is now a bad person, and I don't know how that can be a thing. And then we saw Sonny Kiss essentially do a jumping splits off of the Brett rope, which of course is a WTF moment all in its own right, because owie wowie. But in response to seeing this, Jim Ross replied, "That would have killed me, by God." So I just need to take this moment to put this image in your minds. Just imagine Jim Ross jumping off of the Brett rope and trying to do a splits on landing. Let's take a second to think about that, shall we? And I feel like this tweet here needs to be included in this video for Taz's benefit and for Taz's benefit alone, because he was commentating that match last night like he had never seen that tweet before. So I'm asking the question, AEW, why wasn't Taz shown that tweet before he commentated that match last night? And we've got to make several WTF moments for every single occasion where good old JR was saying things like, "This should be an easy win for Cody. I'm not surprised by that outcome. Sonny Kiss is really bad at the wrestling." Meh. I'm asking the question, Jim Ross. You're not a heel commentator. You're supposed to be down the middle, if not a complete baby face. Wholesome good old JR. Why were you being such a dick towards Sonny Kiss? Sonny Kiss is really good. Why couldn't he have won that match last night? And as Jim Ross pointed out last night, still no arrest for the Butcher or the Blade or the Bros, as they have clearly stolen that car there. Of course, now as we're sat here on Thursday morning, this WTF moment doesn't matter. But when that screenshot there was taken, it most certainly did. In the words of the Hurricane, no arrest for those four lads there. What's up with that? Oh. And this one is only a WTF moment because of what transpired on last week's AEW Fighter Fest Night 2 as the Butcher didn't butcher opening a car door. Wow, what a car door opening. Only works on the podcast, that one, doesn't it? But more importantly, authorities in and around the Florida area, the Butcher and everybody else's fingerprints are all over that vehicle. Go and swab it and all that malarkey. Go and arrest them for being very bad boys. Now, this is clearly a reference that is going way over my hairy head. So if you know why Jim Ross keeps asking the question week on week if the Butcher and the Blade work at a bakery during the day. If you know why Jim Ross is saying that, please let me know because it's doing my tits in. There has got to be a reason behind JR repeatedly saying these words in this order, and it's time for me to know why. Because I'm sick of feeling like an idiot. No flips, just fists. It turns out those lads are just hypocrites. FTR, you set of bastards, you. Now, we saw plenty of Tully Blanchard in the crowd with his binoculars, apparently scouting the talent inside the ring. Cody and Sonny Kiss, of course. But for the second match of the night, where FTR took on the Lucha Bros, we saw none of Tully Blanchard whatsoever. How tantalizing, how spooky. No. But then come the end of that tag team match, Dax Harwood is doing that, and I'm asking the question, of course, who is he doing that towards, and why is he doing that thing towards this unnamed assailant? You're just a bunch of saucy bastards, aren't you, AEW? Especially now that Cody Rhodes has been in the press saying that if AEW were to do a brand new Four Horsemen thingy, it would be an uphill battle. But on the Four Horsemen stuff, Cody also said, I think in this case, I love flirting with some of the concepts that were out there because my dad and my family was always the antithesis of the Four Horsemen. So they're going to do it, are they? They're not going to do it? They're a bit scared? They're not scared? They're up for the challenge? I have no idea what they're doing, but it looks like the Four Horsemen might be the 5 pony women. It's going to be the same but different. Maybe? I don't know. The cans. The Sharpie. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but if I didn't, you would call me horrible names, so there you are. It's mentioned. I don't know why, though. So last week, of course, we saw when the Butcher tried to open the door wouldn't bloody open. But this week, when Cash Wheeler tried to turn the engine on, the key wouldn't turn, the engine would not come on. Why do we keep using this car, AEW? It's more trouble than it's worth. But I guess everything will be okay since those two lads are now back inside of the vehicle, and that's simply because they used to be mechanics. And initially my face was like Ortiz's as Chris Jericho started speaking about, live on AEW by the way, within the realms of kayfabe and storyline, Chris Jericho started speaking about the demographics, calling himself the demo god. Oh, I was saying like Ortiz was there. But then I sat back and thought to myself, well, AEW have this professional wrestling heel called Chris Jericho, and this professional wrestling heel has taken something that by and large professional wrestling fans do not like. That's the feeling I get when I look at Twitter on a Thursday night, this entire talk about the ratings war and the demographics and all of that stuff that shouldn't matter to us professional wrestling fans one bit. They've taken this stuff the fans don't like and brought them into the storyline. So I guess it's okay. I guess for 1 week, a delusional heel like Chris Jericho speaking about the demos and referring to himself as the demo god, I guess it's fine. I don't want to see it continue past this week because I think that's a bit too behind the curtain. A bit too Vince Russo, WCW 2000-ish. Let's move on from this bollocks as a 1 week throwaway thing. Fine. It's the thing everyone's talking about, of course, how Sasha Banks makes Chris Jericho angry on Twitter, so why not bring that on the camera for 1 week? Let's just move on though, AEW, move on. But speaking about Vince Russo, then we had a viscous substance descend from the rafters, drenching some professional wrestling heels inside the professional wrestling ring. I've just got to ask the question, is Vince Russo working for AEW? You take that Inner Circle segment from last night's show and put it in a vacuum and show it to somebody who hasn't been watching AEW and might have watched WCW back in the year 2000 and was turned off from the world of professional wrestling because of WCW from the year 2000. They'd be thinking that, watching the same thing, aren't they? But this is more than just a WTF moment because of the Russo feeling I got while watching it. It's also a WTF moment because Orange Cassidy, of all people, somehow, someway found the energy to go to all of the trouble to ascend to the rafters of the building, put some bottles or something, or a parachute full of liquid. I don't know how he did it. I've never done this sort of thing before. He found the gusto to organise all of that and then be in cahoots with somebody else to pull the trigger at the right moment when the thumb went down. This is all so much effort for a human sloth called Orange Cassidy. Quite frankly, I didn't think he had it in him. And then we have dickhead delusional professional wrestling heel Chris Jericho saying he has never been and never will be on Being the Elite, even though Chris Jericho has been on Being the Elite before. Oh, that was the point. And then we have Matt Jackson sending a direct message to Nick Jackson and to Ray Phoenix after what those two lads did on last week's show. Matt Jackson was saying, hey lads, anything you can do, me and Marko Stunt, we can do in a more convoluted manner. So take that one. It was still bloody amazing though. Not all WTF moments have to be negative. Remember that one. And then we have a direct quote from Chris Jericho himself while that was happening inside the ring. He said, these guys are arguing over the rules. There are no rules in wrestling. And I was thinking, how can Chris Jericho of all people be saying this live on AEW TV when allegedly he was the guy to pull everybody in, have a massive backstage meeting about AEW tag team matches and how these tag team matches didn't enforce tag team rules? How can he say that, the hipper? Oh, bugger, he's got me again. I hate WTF moments, me. I hate them with a passion. AEW, no subtitles for Shida, simply going off your completely and utterly unnecessary use of subtitles for Shida in the past. I am staggered that you expect anybody at home to understand a word that woman says when that woman there speaks English better than me. I hope nobody clips anything out of context there. What I am saying is finally AEW, you've come to your senses. She doesn't need subtitles. Why did it take this long to realise that? You know what? When Nyla Rose mentioned that she was going to be bringing in a manager, I was thinking, Nyla Rose, you do not need a manager. But now I've seen that it's Vickie Guerrero, I am all on board. That is a pairing that for me sat there thinking about potential people who could be a manager for Nyla Rose when she made this announcement on last week's show. It's a bit of a WTF moment. It's a bit unexpected, I reckon, even though she was in the running, wasn't she? Anyway, those two people there will be a hoot together, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do. Nah. You're all right. And then I guess Taz throwing in the towel on Brian Cage's behalf is a bit of a WTF moment because take yourself back to before that match started. Did you expect to see Taz throwing in the towel for the Machine? Although now he's not the Machine Sonny kisses. Did you expect to see Taz throwing in the towel for Brian Cage? Because I didn't. Therefore WTF. But I've seen some hot takes online and let me tell you, professional wrestling fans, in this hack's opinion, it's not all that bad that finished that main event last night. First of all, Jon Moxley had a game plan. Jon Moxley saw a weakness in Brian Cage's arm, whichever arm it was. I'm not too sure. Woo! Jon Moxley utilised that game plan to perfection and got a big win. Good stuff there. Second of all, Brian Cage didn't actually tap out, so Brian Cage looks strong. And third of all, which ties into that second point, Taz is a real rarity in the world of professional wrestling because Taz is a manager who clearly cares about his client. Taz saw that Brian Cage potentially might have been on the way to being re-injured, potentially going back to the injury shelf for months on end. So Taz was like, hey, look at the bigger picture. We'll lose this match, we'll make more money and win more titles in the long run. I like that one. I like that touch from Taz. Taz is great. But that's it for your WTF moments from AEW Fight for the Fallen 2020. I have been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. Haircut is coming very, very soon. I'll see you soon, everybody.